So let's go ahead and dive in, guys. Let's go ahead into pick a territory. So not all states are created equal, right? There are certain states that you should not wholesale in, and a lot of that, laws aside, is just based upon the population in the state and how attractive that state is for buyers. Keep in mind, guys, if you are wholesaling, then in the way that you make money is with buyers buying your deals. Isn't it important? Wouldn't it be important, right, to target the states that have the most buyers, or target the territories that have the most buyers? Because if you target territories that have sellers but no buyers, that's going to be a big, big problem for your model, right? So let's talk about the two things you want to look for. Okay, this is super, super simple, guys. I've boiled it down to a two-step process, how you can pick the hottest states across the country to wholesale houses. So there's really two things. So a lot of people, when they come to me, they're like, Chris, like, I'm thinking about this county, or I'm thinking about this state, I'm thinking about this area. So usually people have an area in mind. Maybe it's because they have a friend or a family member that's lived there. Maybe it's because they've always been interested in this state, whatever. Most people have a state that's top of mind. What you want to do is you want to take the county that you're looking to target and you want to pop it into Google, okay? And you want to type in that county, state, population, okay? So give an example, Hillsborough County, Florida, population. It's going to kick back to you. It's going to share with you what the population is in that state. And what you want, or that county, what you want is you want that population to be a minimum of 250,000 people. So 250,000 is really the sweet spot we found. The second step that you guys want to do is you want to go to Google again, and you want to type in the county, state, median home price. What's the median home price? So if you guys picture houses on a timeline where you have the really cheap stuff on the left-hand side, it's like $50,000 and less. And you have the really expensive stuff on the far right, which is like the $2, $3, $4, $5 million properties. The median home price is the price in the middle. Okay, so that's the price that everybody can afford. It's the most popular type of home sold, and you want that to be a minimum of 200,000. If you slip below that, you're going to find it's going to be more of like a rural type of territory, harder to sell deals. But if you have that minimum of 200,000 in median home price, minimum 250,000 in population, that is the magic sauce right there to be able to get 5-figure assignment fees. So that's really what we have found and how you can really set yourself up for success. Another big thing, guys, with territory is knowing the laws of your state. Okay, not all states have the same opportunity. There are certain states that say you cannot do what's called a contract assignment, which is the main way that we make money as a wholesaler. So what I recommend is I want you guys to all stay safe in here. So I want you guys to make sure that you're either talking to a coach or you're talking to a real estate attorney in your state, so you can stay up on top of all the laws and stay safe. So let's bump to the next baby step here, which is pick a marketing channel. So this is going to be a game changer for you guys. Okay, I'm really excited to go over this one because a lot of people do this the wrong way. A lot of people pick 5 different marketing channels to start with, and they think that it's going to get them closer to a deal, but it couldn't be further from the truth. The truth is you want to start with one marketing channel. That's it. But where do you start? Okay, so in the beginning, when you're first getting started, you really want to keep your overhead low. Unless you've had a background in sales, like you're not very experienced over the phone, and your first couple of calls may not go very well, right? You may not get very many leads from your marketing campaign that you do. So you want to make sure you keep your overhead low. So one marketing channel that I recommend, and one for you to start off with, is cold calling. Cold calling is the absolute 100% best way for you guys to go, okay? This provides instant contact with sellers. There is no faster way to get in contact with sellers than by picking up the phone. There's no faster way to do it. Again, it's low overhead. You can typically get a dialer, $100 a month, $150 a month, somewhere around there. So it's low overhead. And from there, it also builds invaluable skills. 90 days of calling, guys, is going to give you a 10-year education in sales. Highly recommend it for everybody. If you can get deals from cold calling, man, when you layer on other types of marketing channels and you start paying more per lead, you're going to be able to get all the juice out of that opportunity, all the juice, versus starting with that, spending a bunch of money on a bunch of expensive leads and not being able to convert them and being like, oh man, I wish I would have started with cold calling. So lay the foundation with cold calling. And that will really, really help you. And then next, something else I see people struggle with here is they struggle with, sitting down to dial. Like they're like, okay, I know I need to sit down the time to dial. I've set aside 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock. That's when I'm going to dial, right? They sit there, they go like this, and they're like, okay, I'm going to do it. And then they don't do it. And they start thinking about all the things that are going to go wrong, all the things that could cause them to, like maybe the seller says no, the seller curses them out. What if the seller knows I'm new? All these limiting thoughts come in, right? But what I found is if you have a launch plan, then you can have tremendous success with this, okay? And that is this, all right? Most people, they quit before they start because they wait too long to make a call. So they think about all the bad stuff that can happen. Again, here's how it typically goes. What if the seller curses me out? What if the seller knows I'm new? What if I mess up? Shoot, yep, I'll start tomorrow. That's what most people do, right? But what I want you guys to do is shift that perspective. What if things go right? So what I want you to do is sit in front of the phone and go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. You pick up the phone, you hit start on the dialer, whatever, and then you're off to the race and running. Doesn't even matter if the person answers and you hang up at them because you're so nervous, right? Just push past that. The first call is always going to be rough, and then move on. But if you do that, that'll really increase the chances of your success with cold calling. So step number 3 here is finding cash buyers. A lot of people start wholesaling completely wrong, okay? And they will get their first deal and they'll have to cancel it because they can't find a buyer, okay? So what I recommend actually is the FYBF method, okay? And what that is that means find your buyer first. Think about it. If your ability to make money in wholesaling depends on you having a buyer, right? Wouldn't it make sense to make sure you have one of those locked in before you started marketing for your deals? So what we recommend is we recommend starting with 100 cash buyers, okay? It's much easier than you might think. And the cool thing is you can find cash buyers, again, in the networking spreadsheet. You can find cash buyers in Facebook groups. Facebook groups are one of the top ways to find buyers because it's groups of people who are all looking to do the same thing. Like if you go into a real estate investment Tampa Bay group or real estate investment Harris County, Texas group, there's people in there who are looking to buy properties. So if you go in there and you see a wholesaler post a deal, all the people that say, I'm a buyer, I'm a buyer, I'm a buyer, those are the ones you're going to network with, and you're going to find out the type of buyer they are. There's 3 types of buyers that you guys want to know that you want on your list. When I first started, I had a big misconception where I was like, I only want cash buyers on my list. That's it. Everybody else is competition or shouldn't be there. Totally wrong. And I lost a lot of money and left a lot of money on the table because of that. So there's actually 3 types of buyers that you want to have on your list, or 3 types of contacts you want to have on your list. All right. You want to have cash buyers. Okay. Again, you can find these in Facebook groups. You want to have wholesalers on your list. Believe it or not, these guys are not your competition. They can help you get more eyeballs on your deals. And that's what it really comes down to. And they have relationships that you guys don't. So build great relationships with wholesalers and always look to see how you can provide value. Lastly, a lot of people believe that realtors are bad news. They believe that they hate all wholesalers and they don't want anything to do with this, right? Couldn't be further from the truth, okay? Realtors are amazing contacts to have on your list because they can bring buyers to the table that you wouldn't even have access to even if you tried. You can find them in Facebook groups, Zillow, and Realtor.com. So let's go ahead and dive into motivated sellers. There's a lot of different dynamics going on right now. Like you have higher mortgage rates, you have properties that are very expensive right now. So not all lists are created equal. And it's very difficult for some people right now to find deals because they're hitting all the wrong lists. So here are the lists that you guys want to market to. So before you guys select the list, you got to keep in mind right now for people to want to sell, the list has to have motivation, okay? You can't target the homeowner who's got 50% equity in their property and there's no like life circumstance or event that's remotely motivating them to sell, right? If you're just targeting high equity homeowners right now, you're gonna have a really, really hard time. It may be even better to just take your money and put it in a bonfire in the backyard and light it on fire, right? So I'm gonna show you guys the list to target, and all these lists are for right now. These are how the types of sellers you guys wanna target right now. So virtual driving for dollars, that is huge. Great, because obviously you can see the condition of the properties. Beyond that though, guys, there's 10,000 people every single day turning age 65. We're in the largest baby boom generation of our time. Senior owners, they want to downsize right now. A lot of them are moving in with their kids. Maybe they're moving to that condo on the beach they've always wanted. They're selling their house. It's paid off. And so that's a big part of their retirement, right? And so what's happening is they're motivated, very motivated to sell, and great people to work with. Next is tired landlords. So these people have owned their properties, their rental properties, 10 to 15 years, tired of managing tenants and toilets, and they want these things out. They realize that they tried to time the market here. They missed the peak, and things are kind of like on the downside, and they just want to cash out and get as much money as they can. Vacant, inherited, probates, code violations, delinquent tax, all these lists are fantastic right here. Again, you notice that the trend here is that nobody's caring about price if they have a vacant house. Nobody's caring about price if they inherit a house, or if someone passes away, or if a property's getting violations against it every single day. If they got a divorce, they want to sell. If the property caught fire, they're going to want to sell it most likely, right? So all these are great lists for you guys to go after right now. And you can actually layer motivation for higher motivation. You can take a tired landlord who has vacant properties, right? And maybe they've also had an eviction. That could be a highly targeted, motivated list for you guys to go after. And those people will want to sell. They don't care about prices. So you want to get phone numbers for that list. Big thing, guys, contacts lead to contracts. The more people you call, the more opportunity that you're going to get. You can't get opportunity if you're not picking up the phone every single day. So the more people you contact, the more properties you're going to contract. Now, one of the things I want to share with you guys is the 4 pillars of motivation. There's 4 things that you guys need to get on every single call with sellers. You want to get the price, how much they're hoping to get for the property, the timeline, when do they want to sell? You want to find out their motivation, so their real why. So what's that burning why that they have of wanting to sell that property? And then lastly is the condition. And if you can get those 4 things, then you have everything you need to be able to put together an offer and present to that seller. Now, I actually have something really cool for you guys. Okay. This is going to be a game changer for you when it comes to cold calls. Game changer. So the 80-90 rule. So what we have found is that if a seller is asking 80% of Zillow's estimate of the property value, okay, if that seller is asking 80% of that number and they're willing to sell in 90 days, then that is a smoking hot opportunity. It only takes about 10 of those to turn into a seller that says yes, right, that accepts your offer and moves forward with the contract. Next part here is selling the deal. You don't need a lot of fancy tools to sell your deals to your buyers. You can sign up for a free account with MailChimp. Go to MailChimp.com. It's free. And I think it's free for up to your first 500 or 1,000 contacts. As a wholesaler, you do not want to give repair estimates to your buyers. You don't want to tell buyers like your estimate of the kitchen, the bathroom repairs. Just tell them that, they would need to do their own due diligence because they know that you don't know those things and they're expecting it, and they're going to use that to beat you down in price. So no repair estimates, guys. I don't want to see any of you guys posting deals in Facebook groups saying the kitchen's this amount, the bathroom. Unless you've renovated 5 houses yourself, you should not be doing that. So leave the due diligence to your buyers. You want to qualify your buyers by experience, funding type, and the speed of close. So how long they've been doing it, how are they going to be paying for the property, cash or hard money, and how quickly can they close? You always want to go after the highest and best offer. So once you have a showing, again, your property inspector oversees these. You get all the offers back from your buyers. At that point, you can move offer, just let your buyers know you're going to be moving forward with highest and best. And lastly, close and get paid. That's what it's all about. It's about starting this process, getting to the point where you got a property to contract, getting that property sold, and cashing your first check, guys. And I can tell you, it's amazing. And the cool thing about this is this has a future. You can either do this yourself and do deals yourself and just pocket some money and stack your retirement accounts, whatever you want to do, or you can get to the point like we did, where you start handing things off. People start doing this for you. You're on vacation somewhere. I remember hanging out at a beach at my brother-in-law's wedding. We were sitting there on the beach, and wholesale deals were being put under contract and sold, and we were having wires hit our account. It's the coolest feeling in the entire world.
Thanks for listening to the DealMachine Real Estate Investing Podcast. Please leave us a review and follow along wherever you're listening to your podcast.